Hello, friends, and welcome to Spirited Movie Companions, a movie podcast from the guys that brought you Bottled and Bond. I am Mike Scott, and I have been watching and enjoying movies since I was a kid in the 1900s, and I've always been interested in the history and the lore behind their creation. So, alongside my friend Charlie, we will be taking a deep dive into movies we choose based on a randomly selected monthly theme. We will also be providing pairings for the movie, which may include other movies, books, music, and, in the spirit of our Bottled and Bond podcast, companion beverages. Today, to celebrate the birthday of our favorite bartender, the Countess Tracy, we will be discussing 1980's Airplane. So make yourself some popcorn, find a comfy seat, and pour your favorite drink while we ponder this question. Does this episode count as a birthday present for my wife? This is a special bonus episode, Airplane. Charlie, welcome
Thank you, Mike.
once again.
By the way, it does count as a birthday present, but I wouldn't let it be the only birthday present if I were you.
Fortunately, it will not be. But yeah, it's
Still, what more could someone hope for their birthday than for us to record an episode of this podcast to make their movie tastes famous
right.
among all of our listeners?
There was really only two options for this. It was either Airplane or Sound of Music, so that's like the easiest choice I ever could have made.
Come on, man. The
Sound of Music is don't get me wrong.
great.
The Sound of Music has grown on me, but it's a 3-hour movie, and I would have had to watch it twice. That's too much of a time commitment.
Maybe next year.
Maybe next year. We do have a companion beverage today for this. It's the best one I could find. And it's not going to give us a drinking problem.
And it's named after a place.
Yeah.
Apparently.
I don't think is
a
Drambuie
place
a
where
real
there was
place?
a war.
Oh. Well, we're having Drambuie.
No,
Oh, yeah. It was not a real place.
oh, okay.
But yes, we were having Drambuie today. I'm surprised that the Countess Tracy didn't question why we had that in here. But before
I mean, she's probably given up on trying to really understand your actions and motivations, Mike.
It's very true. We do have a quick message from somebody that I'm going to play real quick before we start into the episode.
All right.
I just want to tell you both good luck. We're all counting on you.
I sound like Lieutenant Frank Drebin, Police Squad.
It does. All right, we'll see what we can do then. He's counting on us, Mike.
He's counting on us, yeah. My one shot for this movie.
Mm-hmm.
Good thing the two meal options weren't fish and Taco Bell.
Wow. That is a good thing. Mine is, surely this movie will make you laugh so hard that you'll end up in a big building with patients. But that's not important right now.
Nice.
So let's start talking about the movie.
Awesome. So for the background, I actually did not write anything. I found a very interesting Smithsonian article celebrating the 40th anniversary. So I'm going to read that.
Doesn't that tell you something?
Yes.
That the Smithsonian, of all places,
Right.
has something about it?
In the movie 0 Hour, and then this is where the article starts. Food poisoning knocks out an airliner's entire crew, leaving only Dana Andrews playing a haunted World War II fighter jock who hasn't flown in years to land the unfamiliar aircraft safely in bad weather. But Airplane writer-directors David Zucker, Jim Abrahams, and Jerry Zucker, collectively known as Zaz, didn't just take the earlier film's premise. They also pilfered character names, scenes, and verbatim exchanges of dialogue, even as they layered on a non-stop parade of jokes, absurdist, frequently childish, some certainly in poor taste by contemporary standards, but mostly just funny. But even more than that sturdy plot is the way Airplane adopted the trappings of a real movie, from its Elmer Bernstein score, guy from Animal House,
Oh, wow.
to a company of actors not known for cutting up. Peter Graves, who'd been team leader Jim Phelps on Mission Impossible,
Yeah.
Robert Stack, who'd been crusading Prohibition-era lawman Elliot Ness on TV's The Untouchables, and, of course, Leslie Nielsen. He'd had a leading role in the seminal sci-fi flick Forbidden Planet 24 years earlier, and he'd played the captain of the doomed ocean liner in the disaster piece The Poseidon Adventure,
We have to watch that eventually.
a perfect specimen of the type of movie Airplane was sending up. But he never really broken out until Airplane showed us all how funny he could be by making himself as much of a sourpuss as possible. Over the next 20 plus years, Nielsen would star in innumerable parodies, ranging from wonderful to dismal, probably because it had become all but impossible to cast him in anything else.
Isn't that amazing? He still acted just as seriously, all these guys. I mean, again, we just talked about this.
Yeah.
Serious acting, but saying ridiculous things in many ways can be funnier
Yes.
than trying to act funny.
Here's our cast. We have Robert Hayes as Ted Stryker. I best remember him from a movie called Homeward Bound, The Incredible Journey.
Oh,
he was the
really?
dad in that.
Okay.
Julie Haggerty is Elaine Dickinson. She's great in the Albert Einstein movie Lost in America.
She's really good.
Also know her from the best sequel to my favorite Christmas movie, A Christmas Story. That
Which
movie-
is better than you would think
Yeah.
it would be.
It's called A Christmas Story Christmas. And
Yeah.
she's taken on the role of the mom in
Yeah.
that movie. We have Leslie Nielsen as Dr. Rumack. He's definitely best known for Dracula Dead and Loving It, Spy Hard, and Wrongfully Accused.
Of course.
Robert Stack as Captain Rex Kramer, also in two other masterpieces, Written on the Wind and Beavis and Butthead Do America. Dude always creeped me out in Unsolved Mysteries. We have Lloyd Bridges as Steve McCroskey, best remembered for the movie Jane Austen's Mafia.
Okay.
Peter Graves as Captain Clarence Over. This is literally the only thing I've ever seen him in.
Uh-huh.
And Lorna Patterson as Randy. Lou Alcindor as Roger Murdoch. He's the best known. Oh, sorry. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar as Roger Murdoch.
Yeah.
He's best known as the writer of some Sherlock Holmes novels.
Ah, is that right?
That's actually true.
Really?
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar has written multiple Sherlock Holmes novels.
Wow.
Steven Stucker as Johnny Henshaw Jacobs. He was openly gay in Hollywood at a time when that was incredibly difficult. He would often ad-lib lines in Airplane, and he has a small and hilarious role in the Kentucky Fried Movie.
Oh, so they knew him.
Yes.
They knew he was funny,
Our
which
crew.
he was. He's
Yes.
a great addition to
Yes,
this
he
movie.
is. Directed by Jim Abrahams, David Zucker, and Jerry Zucker. Zaz also directed Top Secret. Individual credits for directing include Hot Shots, Ghost, Rat Race, The Naked Gun, and many others. They also did the screenplay. Like I said, music by Elmer Bernstein, who did Animal House, but he also did Ghostbusters, Cape Fear, and the Blues Brothers, amongst many, many others. Cinematography by Joseph Biroc, who also worked on It's a Wonderful Life and Blazing Saddles.
Wow, now those are two movies that are not like each other.
Yeah. Production design by Ward Preston, who also did Purple Rain and UHF.
Wow.
Yeah. This movie was released June 27th, 1980 in Toronto and Buffalo for some reason.
Wow.
And then July 2nd, 1980 everywhere else. Financials. Here's the thing that blew my mind.
Okay.
The budget, $3.5 million, which is $14.2 million today. The box office, $130 million,
Yeah.
which today would be $528.7 million.
I
I knew this was a popular movie. I did not realize it was that big of a phenomenon.
It was amazing. I'd read that it made more than its budget in the first
Yes.
week or weekend or whatever that they measured.
So what's your history with this? Did you see it in the theater?
You know, I honestly don't know the first time I saw it. It's a movie that I have seen so many times that it's almost existed for me. But I do remember seeing the trailers and previews and advertisements for it. And I remember really wanting to see the movie.
Yeah.
So I might have, but I guess it was probably rated PG. So I think we probably could have seen it.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's a movie that's just always existed for me.
Nice.
And I don't even know. It's just a permanent part of everything I know.
I really can't remember either. I mean, it doesn't have that kind of history with me. In fact, for a long time, I wasn't a huge fan of it for whatever reason because I had grown up on Hot Shots. I watched Hot Shots all
Yeah.
the time. And so maybe for me, because how much I loved Hot Shots, I thought this was not as good just because I hadn't seen it and it was older, whatever.
Well, here's an episode of Charlie is older
Yes.
than Mike. There had never been anything like this, really.
Yes.
That mainstream movies had ever had.
Right.
It was unlike anything. And as a kid, the humor was so on the nose and over the top and ridiculous that having a watermelon fall out of the sky onto a desk was just hilarious.
Yeah.
I mean, you can imagine the stuff you could put in the trailer or the preview for this was just innumerable.
Right.
Right? You could put so many things in there. And I just remember as a kid, I mean, just the scene of where's the forklift? Over there.
Yeah.
And then the nose of the plane comes
Goes into
through.
yeah.
We just loved it. I mean, I guess I would have been 13
Yeah.
when this came out. It was amazing.
Tracy and I would have been -1 when this came out.
Yeah.
But she talks about this movie all the time. Her favorite line is I think her favorite character is probably Steven Stucker's character, and she loves the Tylenol line and like a big giant
Like a
Tylenol.
giant Tylenol.
So yeah, she obviously has much more history, but the more I watch this, the more I do love it. So, not to spoil things, but
It's very funny.
Yeah.
I will say, my son didn't love it, and I think part of it, just like you with Hot Shots, the more things there have been like it, it's not as novel
yeah,
as it was at the time. But
yeah,
I
because you got
still
like
think it's
Scary
great.
Movie now
Yeah.
and all that. So
Eh,
yeah,
Since this, everyone's done it over and over and over again.
some of them have done it too much.
Yeah,
There's been some really really bad ones.
but I just think it's fantastic.
So before we get into the scene summaries, what movies have you watched recently, Charlie?
Well, Mike, I wanted to be fully prepared to discuss this movie. Now, as you know, you and I watched 0 Hour
We did.
together.
I had to lie to my wife and tell her that I was going over to your house to help you with the projector or something.
Yeah.
So that we could watch 0 Hour.
And fortunately, Becky was out doing something. So,
Yeah.
yes, we were able to watch 0 Hour. I also watched the other day Airport,
Yeah.
made in, I believe,
70.
1970. Well, made in 69, released in 1970. And both of those, in their own way, are inspirations for this movie. And
Yeah.
now 0 Hour, as you mentioned, like some of it is line for line the exact same dialogue. And the set even looks very similar in the airport,
Right.
in the control room.
We're actually going to talk a little bit at the very end
Yeah.
about that one.
So
in
that was
more
good.
depth.
And I watched Airport, which I'll mention some things throughout this that were directly inspired by that movie.
Yeah. So yeah, Tracy, sorry I lied to you. I was watching movies, not doing important things like helping Charlie figure out his projector. But it was all so we could do this.
Yes.
Okay, so now let's move on to the movie and the
All
scene
right,
summaries.
good.
Opening credits. With the moon over a cloudy sky, Jaws, with only his fin visible, lurks in the clouds while the theme song plays. The shark, the plane, emerges from the clouds, eventually landing at the airport. Wonder how much money it cost him to get the rights to the Jaws theme song.
I wrote Jaws music. Did they have to pay? I'm sure they had to pay. And it
yeah.
couldn't have been cheap unless they knew Spielberg and talked to him and he thought it was hilarious and is like, yeah, you know, and
I feel like I heard something
gave him
about
a deal
that.
or something.
Yeah, I can't remember exactly what they said about that, but I don't think it was quite as expensive, but I think they did have to pay something for it.
When did Jaws come out?
76.
Okay.
So 4 years.
So it was already an icon.
The phenomenon,
And there'd
yeah.
probably already been Jaws 2 by then or something, but everyone
Maybe.
knew that music. That music's about
Yeah.
as famous as movie music gets.
Yes.
When you hear the opening sequence. Now there is a cloudy airplane thing in Airport.
Is there really?
Yeah.
Nice.
So there is. So I'm like, oh, okay.
So as the future plane passengers start to arrive, they are informed that the red zone, no, the white zone, is for immediate loading and unloading of passengers only. There is no stopping in the red zone. The flight attendant, Elaine Dickinson, arrives, showing how evil she is by not contributing to the religious consciousness church.
Yes.
Meanwhile, now the red zone is for immediate loading and unloading of passengers only. It has always been the red zone.
No, it's the white zone.
The two PAs begin to bicker about the loading zones. And this is where we get a nice little line of,
The red zone has always been for loading and unloading. There's never stopping in a white zone.
Don't tell me which zone is for stopping and which zone is for loading.
Listen, Betty, don't start up with your white zone shit again.
I love that so much. It's so funny.
Good.
The zone couple was lifted from the book Airport, including the abortion line. I'm guessing that line was not in the movie Airport.
Okay. There's a huge story about abortion in Airport.
Really?
Yes.
So
There's
they
a
did have it in the
big
movie.
plot part where, and you're going to have to watch Airport at once.
I will.
Maybe when we get to 70s disaster movies. But yes, one of the pilots is having an affair with one of the stewardesses and
Oh,
gets
wow.
her pregnant and suggests that she have an abortion and she doesn't want to. So it's definitely from Airport.
That's funny.
Yeah. And also in Airport, there are a number of scenes from in front of the airport dropping people off, and a number of scenes walking through the airport past all the people and things like that. Like, you can definitely, when you watch Airport, you can see where some of the inspirations for some of the plots and scenes in this movie came from it.
Yeah. Like I said, the people that did the voices,
Yeah.
they were a real life couple, and they did the actual lines at LAX.
Oh, wow.
And they came in and did these, and they had a great time doing it.
That's awesome.
The first member of that religious consciousness church we see is played by an actor named Gregory Itzin, who actually, if you saw him, you have to look him up because you will recognize him. He did tons of movies and TV. I think he was like in 45 episodes of 24. So if you
wow.
watched a lot of that, you'd be like, oh yeah, that guy. So two monks then arrived, declined to donate to the church because they already gave at the office.
Yes.
This is where we get to see David Leisure, a.k.a. Joe Isuzu,
Joe Isuzu.
as one of the monks. I best remember him from a TV show called Empty Nest.
Yes, exactly.
I love
Which is
Empty
a
Nest.
spin-off of
Soap. No,
The
Golden
Girls.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Soap was, Richard Mulligan was in Soap.
Right,
before
he was
in Empty Nest.
And
yeah.
so the spin-off of Soap was
Benson.
yes.
Yes. We get a sight gag here. A man removes his metal objects, including an arm and a leg, as he's going
Yes.
through the x-ray machine.
And that leg with the foot on it was so ridiculous looking. That was great.
As the PAs continue to fight about the zones, Betty reveals what Vernon is really upset about.
There's just no stopping in a white zone.
Oh, really, Vernon? Why pretend? We both know perfectly well what it is you're talking about. You want me to have an abortion.
It's really the only sensible thing to do. If it's done properly, therapeutically, there's no danger involved.
A family arrives as a man hails a cab. The cab driver, Ted Stryker, leaves the man in the cab with the meter running. There's a sight gag here.
And he says, I'll be right back.
There's an air traffic controller that's helping a coworker by pointing, and you mentioned this earlier,
Yeah,
by
yeah.
pointing to where the forklift is, causing a plane to drive into the terminal. These are the Zucker brothers. Those two guys down there. That was the Zucker
Oh,
brothers.
that's hilarious.
Because they had also done a lot of stuff in Kentucky Fried Movie,
Oh, okay.
which we'll talk about a little
Where's the
later.
forklift? Over there.
See, while you watched Airport, I watched Kentucky Fried Movie to get a
Yeah,
history
yeah.
of these guys, and you have to watch Kentucky Fried Movie now.
No, I will.
So now we're in the airport again. Ted catches up to Elaine, tries to win her back. Elaine rebuffs his attempts, saying she can't live with a man she doesn't respect.
Pulled straight from Zero.
Nice. We get a great line here where Ted looks at the camera and says, "What a pisser."
Yes.
We now go to Captain Clarence Over, scanning the magazine racks for some light reading. He's browsing the fiction, nonfiction, and whacking material, ultimately picking up Modern Sperm before he's called to the white courtesy phone. He accidentally picks up the red phone and is chastised for it. The call is from the Mayo Clinic. A young girl needs to be flown there to get a heart transplant. He then gets an emergency call from Mr. Ham. So you've got, of course, the
All right,
side
Ham
gag.
on 5, hold the mayo.
Ham on 5, hold the mayo. And then, of course, at the Mayo Clinic behind the doctor is nothing but mayonnaise jars on the wall. And then the heart is there at his desk bouncing
on the
around.
desk. And by the way, there's a ton of white courtesy phone stuff in airport. They are on the white courtesy phone all the time.
I
so
definitely
you can
am gonna have to
definitely
watch it,
see
yeah.
where it came from.
On the runway, an ambulance brings the girl receiving the heart transplant directly to the plane. Ted continues to plead with Elaine in the airport, unable to take a new pilot job because of the war. Elaine once again pushes him away as Ted knocks out another member of the church. Boarding the plane. As the pilots chat about weather conditions, a worker cleans the windows. Roger Murdoch, the co-pilot, arrives. Like I said, this is that guy named Lou Alcindor. Not really sure what else he did. Over makes a purchase using a very high-tech credit card machine.
I love, the ka-chink
Yeah.
machine, as I like to call it.
As the passengers board the plane. Back in...
I like the guy checks the oil. He
Yeah.
puts the hood of the airplane up. He checks the oil and he tries to put the hood back down and he tries to jump on it. And of course, it's slippery and he falls right off to the ground.
Well, I gotta say, the guy cleaning the windshield is doing a dynamite job.
Yes.
Yes, that's Jimmy Walker from Good
Is it
Times.
really?
Yes. So back at the airport, Ted buys a ticket on Elaine's plane while the old guy's still waiting in his cab. Ted has a flashback to the war as he approaches the plane. Of course, at the ticket counter, the lady asks if he wants smoking or non-smoking. He requests smoking, so of course she hands him a plane ticket that's smoking.
And by the way, as we saw, all these war flashbacks are taken right from 0 Hours.
Yes.
I mean, it has
Yeah.
flashbacks to the war.
Maybe
all
not
the
some of the
time.
planes that are in Ted's flashbacks in
No,
those, though.
but it has some good dogfight scenes and stuff like that. Like
Yeah.
0 Hour is not a bad movie. It was entertaining.
So one of the ticket agents, it wasn't the one that was talking, but one of the ticket agents in the background is played by Susan Breslau. And she is actually the sister of the Zucker brothers.
Ah, of course.
Yeah. We then see two gentlemen speaking jive on the plane as the passengers
I
continue
like
to
how the
board.
passengers are boarding up the stairs. Like, I
Yes.
don't know if it was still common to go out on the tarmac and walk up the
Yeah.
stairs. Recently, I've had to do that on some regional jets. It's kind
Right.
of fun to walk outside and
I think
walk up
maybe
a ramp
I've done
to
it,
get
like,
in a
once.
plane.
Yeah.
It's kind of fun.
I like the subtitles for the men speaking jive.
Yes.
How do you like the overhead bins not having cabinets
I
or
wrote
anything?
that down too. They had open overhead bins. So did 0 Hour.
Yeah.
So did the one in airport. So
nice.
it made me wonder, when did planes start to get the actual closing overhead bins? It can't be that safe to have those.
I was going to
although
say, they probably start doing it when somebody died or was seriously injured by
Yeah.
falling luggage.
the other thing is, though, did you notice people didn't really have carry-on luggage?
No.
Those bins were filled with pillows and
Mm-hmm.
blankets. Do you ever remember flying when you could ask for a pillow or a blanket or a deck of cards? You could get deck of cards free from the airline. Just like, oh, could I have a deck of cards? And they would pull it out of some stash and
That's
hand you a
amazing.
deck of cards. Or, as we see, magazines. They would walk up and down the aisle with magazines
Whacking
that you
material.
could read. Exactly. Or
Nun's Life and Boy's
Nun's
Life.
Exactly.
Ted gets on the plane, he spots Elaine and takes a seat next to a nice old lady. A couple signs come on that say no smoking or El no you smoko, and then say fasten or put on seatbelts, putana.seatbelts. So the old lady sees Ted is kind of shaky and stuff. She says, nervous? Ted says, yes. Old lady says, first time? Ted says, no, I've been nervous lots of times.
And did you notice the train conductor boarding the final
Literally,
people?
yeah, literally the next thing I said, a couple says goodbye at the steps as a train conductor walks by. The plane begins to taxi while the couple continue saying goodbye. She knocks over several pillars while the guy waves goodbye from the open
With
door.
a bunch of people standing on the train platform.
Yeah. Pilots then prepare for takeoff. You get this funny back and forth where they're their names are all plays. So it's over, Roger, Victor. What's your vector, Victor? Over, yeah. They just keep confusing each other with them.
Roger.
Roger, yeah.
What?
Huh? So we're now in the air. Elaine makes her way through the cabin while a nun reads Boy's life and a boy reads Nun's life with a
Yes.
surfing nun on the cover. Ted asks to talk to Elaine, who is busy. He begins to tell the old lady about their past, interrupting her light reading of Jewish sports legends. The suckers loved that line. We get a memorable line here, though. The old lady says,
No wonder you're upset. She's lovely. And a darling figure. Supple, pouting breasts, firm thighs. It's a shame you two don't get along.
And
I
then
do love the. So he begins to start telling his story
Yeah.
of their past. I love that old lady's look when he starts to tell it. She's like, oh my God,
he-
really?
Yes.
And we now go back to Drambuie off the Barbary coast. And here we're going to take our quick break and pour our drink.
Perfect.
We are back with our Drambuie. We're just
I've
putting
never had Drambuie.
Neither
Can't
have I.
wait to try Drambuie.
We're just putting it on
I don't
ice.
know anything about Drambuie.
They also said Drambuie off the Barbary coast. So I thought about doing Barbary rum also, but I
Nice.
thought Drambuie would be
I
enough.
think that's good.
So cheers.
Cheers.
God, you're going to love that. Oh my God, that's disgusting.
That's pretty good.
I knew it.
What is it?
It
Is
tastes
there
like
licorice in it or something? No, it's
it sure tastes like there's licorice in it.
aged Scotch whiskey, heather, honey, herbs, and spices. Produced and bottled in mainland Scotland.
Oh man.
That's pretty good.
That tastes like something
my
we had for one of the
gosh.
Bond episodes. I don't like black licorice.
I don't. But
I
I,
mean,
don't
I
know
guess
if that's
this-
what that is. I don't even know what it is.
It tastes like licorice, but
I'll
the
have to look it
sweetness, I guess the sweetness kind of helps, but
Got honey.
as soon as I drank that, I knew you were going to love it.
Oh, that's pretty good. I gotta say.
So really, so back to the movie. We're in Drambuie off the Barbary coast in a bar worse than Detroit.
Right.
They take shots at Detroit all the time. In
Yeah.
this, they do it in Kentucky Fried Movie. As two Girl Scouts fight, a dance breaks out and Staying Alive plays on the jukebox.
Well,
Ted.
I like how that happens. They slide two Girl Scouts, right, are
Yeah.
fighting. And the one slides the other one down the bar, and then her head
hits
goes
into
into
the
the
jukebox.
jukebox, and it starts playing Staying Alive.
Ted, at the bar, is captivated and entranced as he sees Elaine dancing. After a fellow dancer is stabbed in the back and does it almost looks like an Elaine Bennis dance where he's like pointing at his back and stuff because of the knife.
I love that because it's so obvious that there's like a big piece of foam
Yeah.
in his coat on the back that they stabbed the knife in, but still it's great. Now, did you notice, and I looked this up, did you notice that Staying Alive is playing faster
Yes.
than the original recording?
Yes.
10% faster.
Mm-hmm.
And they had to get permission from the Bee Gees to
And
play.
Barry Gibb was all for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I don't think I actually mentioned it yet. I actually listened to the entire audiobook of it's called Surely You Can't Be Serious.
Okay.
And it's
course.
the Zaz. It's all of them narrating the entire book and telling just stories about making the movie and everything.
Wow,
It was
I can't
really
imagine.
good.
I'll bet.
So Ted approaches Elaine, begins to dance with her, impressing her with his skill and his juggling.
I know. The juggling's pretty funny.
Yeah. And his dancing where he's like clearly there's some sort of thing holding him from the back, but he's doing that kick with his feet and everything.
Yes.
There's so much you could talk about in this scene, but
I mean, as a kid, I loved it. It's just funny how the place suddenly becomes a disco.
yeah, Elaine spins him around and then he flips up in the air. And if you look, when he flips and lands behind the other people,
Yeah.
you can actually see Robert Hayes down in the corner waiting to jump up from the stunt man that does the flip.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
Now, did you also notice when he throws her up in the air? Like he throws her way up in the air while they're dancing.
And then she like just comes
And
sideways.
she
at
comes
him.
in from the side, so
Yes.
obviously, like when he catches her, I mean, you know, he couldn't probably catch her from falling, but
Right.
still, I thought that was funny. Still funny.
Back on the plane though, the old lady next to Ted has killed herself.
Now,
How'd she tie a rope to the ceiling? That's what I want to know.
just so you know, the old lady looks exactly like an old lady in Airport. And I won't ruin the whole subplot because this old lady is a very big part of the subplot
Oh, really?
of Airport. Yes. But I feel like they pulled her character straight out of Airport.
That's funny. Was it by chance the same woman?
I don't know.
I'll have to look
I
that
mean,
up.
it could have been. I don't know.
After a young couple enjoys coffee, very young couple, we're talking like 2 10-year-olds, but they look like, wasps. They look like super rich white people.
Yeah, I mean, they're acting like old people because he's like, may I bring you a cup of coffee? And she's like, sure. And you have a seat.
And it's like, he offers her cream and she refuses cream. And then she says she likes it black, like her men.
I take it black, like my men.
men. I love that line. Elaine then has a flashback of her own. After a lovely time on the beach, Ted informs Elaine that his orders have come through to bomb the depot in Daiquiri. Almost thought about doing
Why
daiquiri.
don't we should have had a daiquiri?
Well, I would
By
have
the
had
way-
to make them, and we don't have our bartender
Oh,
for
that
this
is
episode.
true. Maybe eventually we can have one. I love the From Here to
Yeah.
Eternity thing where the waves are crashing over them and then there's like a dead fish like right above their head and everything.
Have you seen From Here to Eternity?
No, I've only seen that scene.
Okay.
I
I've-
only
I've
know it
seen-
exists.
Yeah.
I mean, that scene.
That's
see,
iconic.
You
Yeah.
see that clip a lot of
do.
times. Yeah.
It's a great movie, though. I
Is
highly
it?
recommend
Okay.
it.
All right.
Frank Sinatra won an Oscar for his role in that movie, and he's
Really?
actually
Is he the
really
main character?
No, he's not. Burt Lancaster's the main character, but Sinatra is really good in it. So now we have this boy named Joey visiting the pilots in the cockpit as Captain Over asks him some questions. Have you ever seen a grown man naked? Do you ever hang around in a gymnasium? Joey, you like movies about gladiators?
I read that he did not want to take this
No.
part.
Yes.
He read the script and he did not want to do it.
Yeah.
And like his family convinced him that it would be funny and to do it. Well, he met with one of the producers, but still,
Yeah.
he still was nervous and he did not like the plot line about liking the young boys.
Yeah. What's funny is like the Zucker brothers or somebody, they were at like a party later and Peter Graves was there and somebody came up and introduced their kid to him and Peter Graves like asked the kid if he, I don't know if it was The Grown Man Naked or if it was the movies
Turkish
about
prison.
or if it was the movies about gladiators, but the parent was a little concerned because the movie hadn't come out yet.
Oh my gosh,
Yes.
that's hilarious.
So Oh, you know-
once he did it,
yeah.
he must have realized how ridiculously funny it is,
Yeah.
even though it's also disturbing.
Yeah.
But I guess that's what makes it funny.
so now we have Joey
One thing I want to point out.
Yes.
Did you notice? So first of all, the kid gets to go in the cockpit of the airplane, which would not have been surprising back in the day when this was made,
Mm-hmm.
or back in the day when 0 Hour was made, which has almost the exact same
Yes.
scene
Without the creepy questions.
without the creepy question. But interestingly, and you have to think maybe they cast Kareem Abdul-Jabbar because the casting in 0 Hour was a famous football player.
Crazy Legs Hirsch.
Yeah, Crazy Legs Hirsch, who apparently invented the flanker position, as they discuss in that movie. But he reaches down and hands him like a model airplane,
Just like in yep.
just like in 0 Hour. But the thing is, when I was a kid and I flew, it's another episode of how I'm older than you.
Mm-hmm.
They would hand out like toys. You would get little pilot's wings when you were a kid. They'd hand you pilot's wings. I got to walk up and see in the cockpit of the airplane when they were flying it. And the things they'd give you, like, do you remember color forms?
Oh,
Do
yeah.
you know what those are?
Oh, yeah.
They'd give you, like, I have a set of TWA color forms,
Wow.
Trans World Airlines.
You know how much those are worth now? Probably $5 at
Yeah,
least.
probably. And so you could play with them while you were flying with your very nicely dressed parents who were on a very exotic adventure, sitting in your very wide, comfortable airplane seats
Yeah.
with plenty of room
Smoking a cigarette.
and getting a real meal served to you on the little tray
Yeah.
in like little plastic soup container or even China soup container with a little like foil on top that you could peel back to get your food and everything. Those were the days,
Yeah.
my friend.
Now it's like herding cattle and it's
It is
incredibly uncomfortable.
It's like the bus, but in the air.
Yeah.
And back then, of course, there was the smoking section back then. And if you were unlucky and there were no other seats on the plane, you might end up in smoking when you're
Right.
a non-smoker. And they had a nice little curtain they'd pull to, keep the smoke in the one part of the plane.
Yeah.
But those were the days, man. But yeah, I got to go in the cockpit of an airplane, and yeah, they gave you free stuff.
Now you try to go in a cockpit of an airplane and an agent's going
And
to
they
take you
shoot
down.
you.
Yeah.
Exactly. Well, things have changed
Yeah.
since these days.
So Joey looks over at Roger, realizes that Roger is Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Yes.
He tells him his dad said he doesn't work hard enough on defense and that lots of times he doesn't even run down court and that he only tries during the playoffs.
Yes.
To which we get a very, very memorable line.
One of the best.
Listen, kid. I've been hearing that crap ever since I was at UCLA. I'm out there busting my buns every night. Tell your old man to drag Walton and Lanier up and down the court for 48 minutes.
After Ted and Elaine reminisce about her sitting on his face and wiggling, Ted
I
has-
know.
that was
I
hilarious.
remember how I used to sit on your face and wriggle.
Ted has another flashback to his military days. Elaine visits him in the hospital, informs him he's cleared of all charges, but he is distressed about causing seven men to die.
7? Did you just really do that?
I did. Meanwhile, one of the soldiers has PTSD and thinks he's Ethel Merman.
And it is Ethel Merman, right?
Yes, that is Ethel Merman, which I know nothing about her. What TV was she in a TV show? I know she did movies.
Dude, I don't know.
Yeah,
she
I
was
know.
kind of before my
I
time
know.
too, even.
She wasn't
But,
Honeymooners,
like you
was she?
knew. I don't think so. You knew she was someone, and she sang those big show numbers like that. I mean, she probably was on Broadway or something,
Yeah,
right? I mean,
definitely.
she probably was in musicals and stuff. But yes, she gets up and starts singing.
We do get a memorable line here that's really kind of a running gag because Ted, Elaine says she has a message from headquarters, and Ted says, "Headquarters, what is it?" Elaine says, "It's a big building where generals meet, but that's not important right now."
Yes, it starts.
Back on the plane, Ted refuses coffee, but Jim doesn't, much to the concern of his wife because Jim has never had a second cup of coffee at home.
Jim never
Go-
has a second coffee.
Go ahead,
at home.
show you're old. I've
I
heard
am
this
old.
story, but go ahead and tell it.
There was a commercial for U-Band coffee in the 70s where the people are at a dinner party and they're going to leave. And the hostess says, "Oh, please stay for a second cup of coffee." And they're putting their coats on and the husband goes, "Actually, I will stay for a second cup of coffee." And the wife thinks to herself, he never has a second cup of coffee at home. And then they cut to her in the kitchen. That's before I was good at making coffee, but the problem was the coffee. And she talks about U-Band coffee, which is 100% Colombian.
Ooh.
The best part is that the actress who plays this part in Airplane is the same actress who's in the television commercial.
That is amazing.
She never even mentioned it to them.
Oh my God, that is awesome.
She tried out for this part and got the part, and it is the same
Wow.
lady who's in the commercial. Just amazing. And of
That's
course,
awesome.
as kids, when we saw it, we'd seen the commercial a million times. We thought it was hilarious.
So you're saying that even after she got the part, she didn't tell them?
She did
and
not tell
They
Zaz
just had that.
Yeah,
Wow.
she did
That's
not
amazing.
tell them that she was the person from the original commercial.
We now have the flight attendant, Randy, asking the nun for her guitar. She concusses.
By the way, there are nuns and a priest in airport on the airplane.
Of course there are.
Yep.
She concusses several passengers as she walks to the front of the plane and then performs a
That's
song
really funny.
that brings joy to everyone but almost kills the heart patient.
Oh my gosh, we love that part. And the facial expressions on that girl. Now, is she the same girl who was in the Love Boat?
I don't know, but they did an interview. They had a lot of like people coming in and talking about Airplane in that audiobook I listened to. Like the
Okay.
actual people recorded for it.
Nice.
And she was like, I had one face I could make.
Yeah.
I just made that face during that and everybody loved it.
It was hilarious.
It was.
Whenever they knock out that IV, she starts making that face. And her mother, is her mother somebody famous, right?
Maybe I didn't. I caught her. I heard her name, but I don't remember what she did. But this may shock you, but I have literally never seen an episode of Love Boat. I'm a little too young for Love Boat, and I
Are
never watched it
you
in syndication.
Serious?
Never seen it.
I
Although-
mean,
Although I know that
every Friday night or Saturday night or some night when we were the age where you wouldn't go out because you're kids, you're
Yeah.
in maybe grade school, junior high age, there were 3 shows that we would want to watch on the weekend that we'd look forward to. The Dukes of Hazzard, Love Boat, and if we were lucky and could stay up late enough, Fantasy
I was
Island.
gonna say it. I was gonna say
Yeah,
Fantasy
it was on
Island.
right after Love Boat, but it was on at 10, so you weren't always allowed to watch it. And by the way, it was scary.
Really?
Oh, yeah. It had, well, so you've never seen it either.
No, I've never seen it.
No, it has some nightmarish type, like it's one of these things, Fantasy Island, right? So you don't know whether it's these things are really happening
Yeah.
or any of that kind of stuff. It's like the game. You go to this island and these things happen to you. You go there purposely for these things. And of course, they're all like, life purpose revealing things where you go on there and you have these troubles
Yeah.
and you leave the island understanding and being a better person for
Oh.
truly understanding what happened to you and so forth. Kind of like the Love Boat. You enter the Love Boat and you have these issues, and either you and your wife are not on good terms and you're about to get divorced, and by the time you're happy, or you get on there and you're single and you
Meet somebody on.
meet somebody on there.
I honestly thought the Love Boat was just about people on a cruise boat. I didn't realize there was that like angle to it.
Well, sure, but it's there's always people either getting together or not getting together or all that kind of stuff.
So Elaine brings the pilots a meal while Ted talks to a Japanese soldier about his time in Africa. So we flash back to Africa where Elaine is selling some supperware to the natives while Ted teaches them basketball. And of course, they are all naturals at basketball. That part probably didn't age that well, where he's teaching the savages basketball. I'm sorry.
No,
not
but
the,
it's hilarious.
The savages.
It's hilarious though.
Elaine doesn't
By the
wanna-
way, I looked up who the mom is.
Okay.
Joyce Bulifant.
Okay.
She was big in the 70s. I'm trying to see what you might have seen her in, although I'm not sure. These are all too modern, but she was in a lot of stuff back then. So I would have known her, but you've probably never seen her in
Definitely
things.
not.
But she was on Match Game all the time. She was
okay.
on Match Game quite a bit.
So Elaine doesn't want to stay in Africa, and she leaves, and thus Ted develops his drinking problem, where he tries to drink the Gatorade and he hits himself in the forehead
In
with
the
it.
forehead.
Now, here's a cool little tidbit of trivia. The Japanese soldier, who, when we get back to the plane, of course, is committing harakiri on himself.
Of course he is.
That's played by James Hong. And you've probably seen James Hong in a million things. He
Okay.
was in Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Yeah, I've seen
He was
that.
in Wayne's World 2. He was
that.
Cassandra's father in Wayne's World 2.
Oh, okay.
He was in Big Trouble in Little China, but he has been in tons of stuff. I think he's from Minnesota originally, and I think he's still acting to this day, and I believe he's like 98 years old.
Oh my
Yeah.
goodness.
I love James Hong. I've seen him in so many things over the years. So now we see that one of the passengers gets sick, and she says she hasn't felt this awful since watching that Ronald Reagan movie. Which has to be bedtime
outstanding.
for Bonzo, right?
I guess so. I mean, this movie is before he was president, though, right?
Right before, yeah.
Yeah.
Before he got elected.
So I wonder if he was like
It
maybe
was.
they already
He
knew he,
had to
was
have been
running.
running, yeah.
Yeah,
Or maybe
That's
he was still
pretty-
governor of California.
it's pretty funny.
The pilot is informed of the illness as he asks Joey if he's ever been in a Turkish prison.
Okay. Do you know anything about Turkish prisons?
I don't.
I don't.
I don't.
I assume maybe they take all your clothes and you're not allowed to walk around with clothes on. That's the only thing I could ever.
Must be.
I didn't do any Turkish prison research
Neither
or
did I.
anything like that, but I could never figure out exactly what that meant.
So then we go back to Jim, who's vomiting. He never vomits at home.
Jim never vomits at home.
Elaine finds a doctor named Rumac that looks an awful lot like Lieutenant Frank Drebin, Police Squad.
Right out of 0 Hour, too. I think
Oh,
the
the
man
doctor,
sitting
yeah.
next to me
Yep.
is a doctor.
Except the guy in 0 Hour didn't have a stethoscope on to show that he was a doctor.
Exactly.
The doctor begins pulling eggs out of the sick woman's mouth and tells Elaine they must get to a hospital.
And then a bird comes out of one of the... He cracks an egg and the bird comes out.
And then we get a memorable line. Elaine says, "A hospital? What is it?" Dr. Rumac, "It's a big building with patients, but that's not important right now." The passenger who says Rumac may be a doctor is the Zucker's mother.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow, so I guess if you're related to him, you definitely get a
Sure,
part
why
in
not?
one of their movies. Yeah, especially when it's such a goofy movie.
Yeah.
You don't have to really be a professional actor unless you're in one of those lead parts.
So we're back in the cockpit now where Victor passes out. Over talks with the doctor as the plane begins to fall. Murdoch, wearing his goggles and basketball shorts
knee
and
pads.
knee pads, is also passed out. Over informs the passengers and radios the airport. The doctor surmises that everyone that had fish is going to get ill.
What do we have for dinner? Fish and meat. That's right, I had lasagna.
Over then starts having all the symptoms as the doctor names them. He passes out and the plane dives.
I love that scene so much
Yeah.
when he starts talking about uncontrollable flatulence.
Just farting all over the place. Elaine then activates the automatic pilot and speaks with a guy by the name of Steve McCroskey over the radio. As this is all happening, we get warning lights coming on. It says no smoking in rows 11 through 21 and no sex in rows 13 through 51.
Yes.
Steve McCroskey looks like Mandelbaum. Oh, wait, no, that's
By the
Lloyd.
way, we did have the most famous scene in the movie that you kind of skipped over, which is when... So, you look over and Captain Over, you see the fish bones on his plate. I love how there's a full a full fish skeleton on his plate, so
Nice.
you know he had fish. But the best part is when Murdoch falls on the controls and the plane starts falling out of control, they cut to the back of the plane and you see the jiggling jello
And then the jiggling breasts.
and then the jiggling breast.
yes. No, that's only the second most popular scene of the
Well,
movie.
that's true. Another good one's coming up.
And
But
I do discuss the other one.
I'm sure the Zucker brothers are like, wait, we can just write this and then it
Yeah.
happens.
So Steve McCroskey down in flight control is played by Mandelbaum. Oh, wait, no. Lloyd Bridges.
Mandelbaum.
It's a Seinfeld reference. Lloyd Bridges. I will always remember Lloyd Bridges from Hot Shots because that was the one I always watched, and he's also in
Never
Hot
s-
Shots.
Never seen it.
You've never seen Hot Shots? Wow. So McCroskey, after offering Johnny some coffee, he declines, begins instructing the
How
dispatch.
about some coffee, Johnny? No, thanks.
No, thanks.
The funny thing is, that's straight out of 0 Hour.
Yeah.
Except for the response.
Yes, except the guy actually gets him the coffee. He begins instructing the dispatch office to prepare to get the plane to land. McCroskey realizes he needs Rex Kramer's help to land
Get
the
me
plane.
Rex Kramer.
Looks like I picked the wrong week to quit smoking.
They
What a line.
And I mean, this is all right out of 0 Hour, right? They do the exact same. Some of the lines are pulled straight from it.
Yeah.
Of figuring out that they need someone who knows that plane inside and out. Get me Rex Kramer.
I don't know why, but I always forgot about the conjoined twins. How they're given separate orders.
I
and they're both
forget
trying to
that
go do
too,
them.
right? And they try to do them.
Yeah.
Can't pull themselves apart. How did they come up with these ridiculous things? They wrote a movie. Although I did read something where they were trying to sell the movie and they just could not get studio executives to understand their vision and what they were trying to do.
Yeah.
So when they were shopping it around, they said it was Animal House on an airplane, which it wasn't exactly.
Right.
But they couldn't figure out how to actually explain to these studio executives what they were trying to do.
Yeah. As Elaine checks the gauges, the automatic pilot begins deflating. McCroskey instructs her to manually inflate it, while the doctor is delivering a baby in the cabin. Did you notice that there's a woman up
I know,
on-
right? In their stirrups up there and
Yes.
everything. Yes.
The autopilot returns to normal with a big smile on his face because the the plug.
The inflating thing is right on its belt.
Yes. And then after that, he and Elaine enjoy a smoke.
Both are smoking. The face on Leslie Nielsen when he comes in and sees
her in his lap.
inflating
Yes.
in the lap, inflating the autopilot is really good.
Rumack tells Elaine they need to land quickly to save lives. Elaine asks the passengers if anyone knows how to fly the plane as the other stewardess, Randy, hauls the unconscious pilot down the aisle.
We need to find someone who can fly this plane and who didn't have fish for dinner.
This is where they're all panicking and we get that gratuitous boob shot where just a topless woman walks in front of the screen.
I just love how, I mean, the funny thing is they do the same thing in 0 Hour, but it's a serious movie. But in this one, they're like, is there anyone on board who knows how to fly a plane?
Yeah.
And then that's when everyone goes nuts and you see the boobs bouncing.
2 straight movies with bare breasts. Because we just did.
I guess so,
We
right.
just did The Room.
There aren't any in Airport. It's a little more serious and you don't have any love scenes. It's a lot more drama.
Funny little tidbit about this. Kareem had to be pulled on a wheeled cart because Lorna Patterson could not move him.
Oh,
As
I
she-
was going to say,
Yes.
even when they pulled him out of his seat after he'd passed out, that couldn't be easy. He's a
he's 7'2".
large man.
Yeah, he's 7'2".
Exactly. He's a very large person.
So a guy from the airline by the name of Paul Carey arrives to pick up Rex, but he gets attacked by a golden retriever named Shep.
Yes.
Charlie arrived today and was accosted by a golden retriever. This
was.
isn't a joke.
I
This
actually
happens
was.
every time Charlie comes over.
That's exactly right. Although he's not quite as violent.
Yeah, she is
She
not.
isn't
She
quite
is
as violent. She's happy to see me.
She's only barked twice and interrupted this recording, though.
I know.
Rex bemoans the lack of airline food safety as Paul Carey gets mauled to death in the background.
Yeah, and you know, I love them driving in the car.
we'll get to that because I got something about that. But
Okay.
that Mustang that came to pick him up, that Mustang actually belonged to Robert Hayes, the guy that plays Stryker.
Really?
Yeah, that was his car.
Nice.
So Randy asks passengers if they have flying experience, while Ted recounts another story, causing a third seatmate to almost commit suicide by setting himself on fire. Before the man is able to do that, Randy asks Ted if he knows how to fly. The seatmate then thinks he's okay, blowing out his match, dropping it to the ground, and then blows himself up.
Yes.
So, get another memorable line here where she says, something about helping in the cockpit, and Ted's like, "The cockpit? What is it?" Randy's like, "It's a little room in front of the plane where the pilots sit, but that's not important right now." So Ted meets Dr. Rumack, who tells him he has to fly and land this plane.
It's and the scene again.
Almost
right
word
out
for
of
word.
0 Hour.
Yeah.
I mean, he walks up there and realizes that there's no pilot.
Yeah. He eventually convinces Ted he's the only chance they've got.
Can you fly this plane and land it?
Surely you can't be serious.
I am serious. And don't call me Shirley.
But it's a different kind of flying altogether.
It's a different kind of fly. Yeah.
I love that. They do the same line in 0 Hour, but they don't say it afterwards.
And then we have the part where Ted's looking at the control panel. And this is also from 0
They
Hour.
pan across
pan.
all the controls.
But they don't pan for like 20 seconds in 0
I
Hour
know,
like they do in
right?
Airplane.
They have so many controls. Although, I will tell you, I mean, when you walk on a plane anymore, don't you look up there? There are an unbelievable number of controls up there.
Yeah. Back at the airport, the old man is still waiting in the cab with his fare at $113 at this
Yes.
point. McCroskey is giving instructions to everybody, including his wife. What was that? I want the kids in bed by 9. I want dinner
Note to the milkman, no more cheese.
No more cheese. Rex and a disheveled Carrie drive to the airport. As they're driving, Rex runs over a biker. This is some great rear projection work on
The
this one.
green screen for the driving is so good. I forget what we watched recently where the green screen was so jerky, and it was in a movie where it wasn't supposed to be. But in this one, the green screen
So
is
funny.
so jerky.
Yeah.
Yes, he runs over the bicycle.
Like they're swerving around this.
And then there's cowboys
corners.
and Indians chasing him at one
Well, that's
point.
the cavalry from Casino Royale. They're chasing Rex's
Probably.
car, yeah.
But the green screen is hilarious.
But Rex is telling Carrie about Ted's history. So back on the plane, Ted puts on the headset and checks the gauges. Elaine is shocked to find him flying the plane. He proceeds to push the wrong button, sending it into a free fall. He fixes the issue as
this must be the landing gear.
he fixes the issue as a passenger begins to panic. She gets shaken and slapped by many passengers to calm her down. Remember when you could bring boxing gloves, baseball bats, and guns onto a plane? Because they're all lined up and they all have these things.
I do. By the way, I will say it reminds me of airport in the sense that in airport, people bring all kinds of stuff on the plane. Like so in the old days, Mike, we used to walk all the way out to the gate to meet people who were arriving.
Mm-hmm.
And you could just walk out
I
there.
remember those days, yeah.
Yeah. You could
Pre
just
9/11.
walk out there, right? And people could have things. So it is pretty hilarious. They all had these things. But again, this scene is right out of 0 Hour. A lady
Except
panics.
The passenger smacks the stewardess.
And she's like crazy. But then still another person goes, I'll handle this, and grabs her shoulders. So I read about this today. Did you read about this scene? Because the woman, that was supposed to be it. Just like 0 Hour, that she gets smacked and then someone else smacks her, and that was supposed to be it.
Yeah.
Her idea was that everyone lines up to smack her, and they didn't want to do it because they thought she'd get hurt.
Yeah.
And apparently she actually did get hurt because Frank Drebin smacks her twice.
Yeah.
And the second time was not rehearsed, and he actually smacked her.
Whoops.
But the whole thing with the people in the aisle, they filmed it one time and put it in the movie, and they were reluctant to do it. But that's a great scene where she's hysterical. And that it's so funny how you watch 0 Hour. It's right out of it with this hysterical lady that they're trying to calm down.
Zaz was like, how could we make this funny? And they did it.
Right.
Well, with the help of that lady who sounds like the MVP of this movie.
Yeah. That's a great scene.
Rex arrives at the airport, taking out each of the religious and political zealots that confront him. After a shot of the passenger claim section, Rex arrives and meets with McCroskey. Okay. So I got to say that I want to say that all the political and religious zealots.
Okay.
We had Reverend Moon. Then we had Jews for Jesus.
Yeah.
Jehovah's Witness. And then the guy's like, what about Buddhism? Jerry's Kids, Scientology, and then more nuclear power. I do like the baggage claim where it's people coming off of the plane.
So first of all, what's fascinating about this? First of all, I don't know if you have issues like I do. Have you ever thought to yourself, what would it be like to sit on the baggage claim and ride around it, ride down that ramp on there? Because I've thought it many times while waiting for my baggage. But the second thing is, baggage claim technology has not changed.
It's exactly
since
the
this
same
time.
Yeah.
They build brand new airports, and the baggage claim works just like that, where it comes down that ramp and goes on those metal things that go around in like an oval. But I've always wanted to ride on that thing, and I envy those people who were in the movie.
Just doing it in the movie.
Who got to go down there and ride on the baggage claim thing.
I like when Rex goes to meet McCroskey and he has on multiple pairs of sunglasses that he keeps taking off.
He takes them off because it's more dramatic. I wonder if that's what David, what's his name, was thinking of when he did CSI Miami.
Oh, David Caruso.
And he takes his glasses off because that is a great dramatic thing where he takes the glasses off and has other sunglasses on. By the way, it's at night this whole time.
Yeah, and this is where we get just a spear hitting the wall, and then we get the watermelon falling from the ceiling.
Yeah.
And of course, McCroskey says, looks like I picked the wrong week to quit drinking.
Yeah, exactly.
So Rex radios to Stryker, telling him to put their past behind them so they can land the plane. Ted disengages the autopilot, who gets fresh with Elaine as the plane destabilizes. That was also cold right from 0 Hour. Like Rex talking to Ted.
It was. I thought you meant the autopilot getting fresh with Elaine.
No, that part was not. I do like the scene here where Rex is telling McCroskey that because Stryker doesn't know what he's doing.
No.
And Rex thinks he's turned off the radio.
And he goes, shit, this is a waste of time.
It's better to crash land the plane in Lake Michigan.
Yes.
Then we have one of the passengers demanding that Rumac tell them what's going on. He proceeds to say everything will be fine as his nose grows longer, just like Pinocchio.
That's got to be the oldest callback in this movie,
Yeah.
right? I don't know when Pinocchio was. Was
Late
it
30s, early 40s, I think.
Yeah. Was it a movie first? Was it a book before that?
Oh, it was a book way before that, I'm sure, yeah. Rex gives Ted words of encouragement as a turkey vulture watches.
Yes.
Randy...
It's like riding a bicycle, only a lot harder to put baseball cards in the spokes.
Which wasn't... No, that was not in Zero Hour. That's right.
I think riding a bicycle was, but
Okay,
not the spokes part.
Okay,
yeah, but a lot of the pep talk
Yeah.
was right along the lines of 0 Hour.
One of the black gentlemen is having issues. Randy asks him if he's okay. He speaks jive, which Randy doesn't understand. Fortunately, the mom from Leave It to Beaver does.
Exactly, Barbara Billingsley.
Translating for Randy. She is actually...
I speak jive.
She is distantly related via marriage to Peter Billingsley, a.k.a. Ralphie from A Christmas Story. So we've gone full circle here with A Christmas Story. Back at the airport, McCroskey reads a weather bulletin asking Johnny what he can make out of it. What, this? Well, I can make a hat or a brooch or pterodactyl.
One of my favorite scenes.
Johnny's awesome.
I will say the jive talking in Airplane 2, which you have not seen.
Nope.
My brother and I have it memorized.
Wow.
It's hilarious. But the subtitles of the jive talk are great. And then how they get in a fight with Barbara Billingsley, who's talking to him, and they get in an argument with her.
She's pretty
and
awesome.
She calls
in
him
that.
a jive turkey.
Yeah. Ed Macias, who is one of the grounds crew people, I think that was the name of the guy in 0 Hour too, calls Mrs. over, the pilot's wife, to inform her that her husband's flight is in trouble. There's a horse in her bed. She kicks the horse out of the bed as she gets ready to go to the airport.
And she tells him to go out the back door.
Apparently, they had to build a special platform for the horse.
I would think
because
so.
it was lower down and everything. But they said the horse did a perfect job of lifting its head at the exact right time.
I mean, it did. It was kind of amazing.
So back on the plane, Ted has an inner monologue, and if you would like to say anything here, you can, because you seem to like that line where it keeps echoing in his head.
I've got to concentrate. Echo. Pinch hitting for Pedro Borbon, Manny Moda. Now, of course, at the time, as the Reds were the big red machine at this time, people would have known who Pedro Borbon and Manny Moda were.
Gotcha.
But I love that line.
So one of the passengers turns on the fan for his wife because she's getting really hot. It was like the first sick passenger, and it causes a huge gust of wind to go back on everybody. Back in the control room, McCroskey asks Gunderson to check the radar range, who tells him it's about 2 more minutes, checking a turkey in the microwave.
Now, do you know why he checks a microwave when they say that?
Because it was called a range back then?
The original Amana microwave was called a radar range.
Oh, okay.
And my friend Pete had an Amana radar range. So
Nice.
radar range is the exact name.
That's funny.
Because do you know why it's called that? Because microwaves were used for radar. So when you had radar on fighter jets, it was microwaves. And you could this is lore, I don't really know. You could kill people by turning on the microwave at the front of the plane if they were standing in front of the plane. I don't know if you could really hurt them. But you're turning on the radar that was mounted on these fighter jets, and it was microwaves. So then they figured out that it could make water hot. I mean, that's all microwaves do. They make water hot, which water is in the food and blah, blah, blah. But they called it a radar range because radar is how they figured out that they could cook stuff with microwaves.
So the guy that played Gunderson, the one that was checking the radar range, do you know who that was?
Of course not.
Jonathan Banks, who was Mike in Breaking Bad, the old bald guy.
Oh my gosh,
Yes.
seriously?
Yes, it was.
That's awesome.
McCroskey is worried that they could be miles off course, to which Rex replies it's impossible because they are on instruments. Cut to everyone in the cockpit playing instruments.
Playing instruments.
Although the instruments line was from 0 Hour.
Yeah.
The press then comes in and asks McCroskey questions. He eventually defers to Johnny. Before the press leaves, they take some pictures off the walls.
All right, boys, get some pictures. You forgot, though, that this is a bad week to quit amphetamines.
No, it's right here. It's my little note right down here.
Oh, okay.
Looks like I picked the wrong week to quit amphetamines.
Yes.
And then we also get a great line from Johnny.
What kind of plane is it?
Oh, it's a big, pretty white plane with red stripes and curtains in the window and wheels, and it looks like a big Tylenol.
I do like that one of the press microphones is an ice cream cone.
Yeah. When they take the pictures and there are all those pictures of airplanes and stuff.
Numerous newspaper headlines are then printed discussing the plane, plus one about a boy trapped in a fridge eating his own foot.
What's so funny is in 0 Hour, they show the press and they have 2 headlines printed up, one about the miraculous landing and one about all the passengers dying. Like they're ready for either story. So obviously these guys are like, oh, that's a good thing. We can do that.
We then get a bunch of news broadcasts showing the information. I like that the
all
Japanese
over the world.
The Japanese one was like an old Japanese painting, and then there was a plane crash.
Yes.
And then the one in the some island nation with the guy playing the little drum.
Playing drums. And then did you see Point Counterpoint? Which
Yes.
was like a show at the time, or
Yes,
I don't know if that
but
was a show. Yes.
Kentucky Fried Movie has one called, what is it called? It's called like Counterpoint Counter or something.
Oh,
So it's
that's
got some
funny.
stupid other name.
Yes.
I'm telling you, you have got to watch Kentucky Fried Movie.
They bought their tickets. They knew what they were getting into.
Right. I say let the plane crash.
Yes.
Back on the plane, a passenger offers an old woman some whiskey. She declines, offended, and
Certainly not.
then proceeds to snort some cocaine.
Yes.
Ted calls Rumac Shirley once again while a nun performs for 2 passengers. Randy breaks down while preparing drinks. Rumac comforts her for being 26 and unmarried as the married woman...
I'm 26 and I'm not married.
The married woman, the one that got shaken earlier, tells Rumac how glad she is to have a husband.
At least I have a husband.
Yes. Ted has more flashbacks, including many of very early attempts at flight.
Yes.
Engine number 4 goes down, knowing the shit is going to hit the fan when Rex finds out. And it does.
I wasn't checking the oil pressure. When he finds out, the shit's really going to hit the fan.
I think I have a note for this later, but I'm just going to say it now. One of the early screenings for this, they get the reels backwards, and the reel that they put on was the shit hitting the fan.
Oh,
to
that's
start.
funny. I mean, that's a classic.
Ted realizes he's not cut out for this, so he leaves the cockpit. As more passengers blow chunks and Ted continues to have a drinking problem, Rumac tells him a story about his own time in the war.
Well, hang on. Back on the ground, we hear that the fog is getting thicker. And Leon's getting larger.
God, those lines are so great. I think Rumac was telling him a story about the war, or he might have just been retelling the story of Gipper from Newt Rockney, All-American.
Exactly. Just win one for the zipper. He's telling him about George Zip.
Regardless, it works, and Ted returns to the cockpit. Rex sends men to the tower while Johnny shouts Rapunzel. Mrs. Cleaver and the other passengers are then watching a movie with a plane completely crashing into the ground.
Yes. But you missed another Johnny line.
Okay.
When they're looking at the newspaper, look at this, and they hand it to him, and he goes, "There's a sale at Penny's."
I figured you'd pick up my slack on any of the Johnny lines.
Oh gosh, I love the
He's
Johnny
great.
lines.
So everybody's over at the tower now, and they're all introduced to each other in a very elaborate fashion. It makes me think of have you ever seen Spies Like Us? Doctor, 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 doctor. I feel like they took that from Airplane.
Yeah, it's been a long time. Yep.
Mrs. Over arrives wearing a hideous dress.
I know. You missed another Johnny line. They're talking about how the pilots are still on board. They're still alive, but they're catatonic. Just like Gerald Ford.
Gerald Ford. Nice. At this point, vehicles are ordered to the field, including an ambulance, fire truck, hearse, Budweiser truck, ice cream truck, water bottle truck, concrete mixer, and tractor. Most of those vehicles were in 0 hour.
0 Hour had the exact same scene with a bunch
Yes.
of emergency vehicles going to the runway.
Couple funny gags here. The first one, at one point, Rex says, we need to pour every light on the field, and there's just a bunch of lamps that get dumped off in a dump truck.
From a dump truck.
And then there's the Air Israel plane
Air Israel, please clear the runway.
wearing a yarmulke and sporting, I'm going to say payot. It's the curls. I don't know exactly how that's pronounced.
it's
but yes, the curls.
Yes, it's like the Hasidic.
I looked up the
Jewish
name, but I don't know how to
thing.
pronounce
Yes, exactly.
Back on the plane, Randy shows everyone how to put on the life jacket, which turns into a ducky flotation device.
Yes.
After killing Disco, Stryker
Where
is guided.
disco lives forever.
Stryker is guided to the ground by Rex. He tells Randy to leave so she doesn't get hurt. She immediately gets hurt outside the cockpit.
I like how they're like, turn on the searchlight. No, that's just what they'll be expecting.
Apparently, that's from Untouchables or something. Like
Oh,
that's
is
from
it
something
really?
that Robert Stack
That's
did.
hilarious.
Rumack wishes Ted and Elaine luck as the plane descends.
I just want to tell you both good luck. We're all counting on you.
We get another memorable line here. Looks like I picked the wrong week to quit sniffing glue.
Yes.
By the way, the radio station where Disco lives forever that got knocked out, it was WZAZ. Zaz.
Oh, very good.
Yeah. At this point, everyone.
By the way, the sniffing glue. Have you ever made models in your life?
I haven't.
Okay, because the glue does have a very strong smell.
Yeah.
Like
Get
when
you
I was
high.
a kid, yeah. I mean, when I was a kid, we didn't know people did that with it, but you definitely knew that glue smelled very strong. And it has a smell that is very chemically, but not unpleasant. So I'm sure it was easy for people to figure out that sniffing glue
Yeah.
did something.
At this point, everyone gets in crash positions, meaning they're just like panicked and
Yes.
chaos everywhere.
Which again is right out of 0 Hour, where they teach them how to get in crash
Yes.
positions.
McCroskey continues sniffing his glue, and then as he sees the plane approaching, he jumps out of the tower because he thinks it's going to crash right into him. So does this mean McCroskey died? We'll
assume
never
so.
know.
Yeah. I did like in 0 Hour how when they go to the tower, it's an outside staircase.
Yeah.
Like they walk in from outside into that tower, which probably was accurate at the time or something, but
So the plane lands,
well,
the wheels come off, everything like comes
yeah,
off.
Yeah.
And-
Do you like how as they're landing and it's going down there, they're like, flight blah 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 arriving at gate 8.
Gate 9.
Gate 9.
Gate 10.
Gate
And they're
10.
all running. Yeah. I will say, I think when it was crash landing, Rumack comes in again and says, we're all counting on you. And then
Yes.
after landing, after we're done, Rumack comes in again and
We're all
wishes them
counting
luck.
on you.
So he's able to stop the plane as journalists rush to the phone booth, knocking it over. Classic.
I feel like that was in the trailer and we all
Yes.
thought that was hilarious, which it is.
So at this
Good
point,
luck. We're all
Rex
counting on you.
continues to talk to Ted, says he wants to buy him a drink, which is another line directly from 0 Hour.
Directly out of the movie.
But Ted and Elaine leave, and then Rex continues to talk. At some point, he starts talking about municipal bonds. And stuff.
I was never happy as a child.
Yeah. Ted and Elaine out on the runway. They fall back in love and kiss, and then they see the autopilot pop back up, and then a special lady friend pops back up, and the autopilot flies off.
The autopilot winks.
He does.
Did you notice how he
Yes.
winked? Like they obviously made a different autopilot with that weird winking eye.
I think
So
in the
it
book
winked.
they said that like the special effects guy, they just kept wanting to do more and more stuff.
Yeah.
And so whatever they could do, they would do. So they're like, why don't we make it so he winks also? And that's what they did. And that's it. That's Airplane. Happily ever after.
Yeah.
I got a lot of trivialities about this one.
Oh, good.
Zaz paid $2,500 for the rights to 0 Hour to avoid any plagiarism charges.
Wow.
Jim Abrahams, one of the three of Zaz, he actually passed away November 2024. But he did get to do that audiobook. So he was on there. That audiobook's only like 5 years old, 6 years old.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I did say this one. At the first screening, the projectionist put on the wrong reel, which started with the shit hitting the fan. Shelley Long and Sigourney Weaver auditioned for the Elaine role.
Oh, really?
Sigourney Weaver refused to say the line about sitting on the face and wriggling.
Really?
Yes. And this
That's
was after.
hilarious.
Well, this was probably around the same time as Alien, because this movie was filmed, I want to say like a year and a half before it came out or something. Rex Kramer, Randy, and Steve McCroskey were the names of friends of the Zucker brothers.
Oh, that's funny.
Rex Kramer.
That's a great name for that pilot.
Yeah.
How tough he is.
Rex Kramer and Steve McCroskey were also character names in Kentucky Fried Movie.
Oh, really?
Because of a lawsuit over the title Airplane being too similar to Airport, it was agreed the movie would only be called Airplane in the U.S.
Oh,
I
really?
have several alternate titles
Oh, I
for you
can't
here.
wait.
Australia and New Zealand, Flying High.
Really?
Germany, The Incredible Journey in a Crazy Plane.
Oh, my gosh.
Spain, Land as You Can. France, Is There a Pilot on This Plane? Norway, Help, We're Flying. And probably my favorite, Brazil, Fasten Your Seatbelts, The Pilot Is Gone.
Oh, my gosh. That is hilarious.
Companions.
By the way,
Yeah.
how is Airplane too close to Airport? I mean, I get how somewhat similar they are one-word titles, but they're two different things.
Right.
I don't know. Whatever.
And you would think the parody rules and stuff. Who knows?
Yeah, I know, right? But they probably just decided it was easier.
Yeah. Companions that I have for this.
Okay.
The book, like I've been talking about, Surely You Can't Be Serious.
Yeah, I got to
It's by Zaz. It's awesome. Probably readily available at our local Libby, support local libraries. Movies. I don't know if I've said this enough, but Kentucky Fried Movie. The Naked Gun
I'll have to
movies.
watch that.
And then, of course, the TV show before the Naked Gun movies, Police Squad, which is only 6 episodes. And we watched in one night one time.
We did, yes, because Mike had never seen it.
Yeah.
And I had the recordings, and it's outstanding. It obviously didn't catch on at the time it was a TV series. Like, people just didn't get it. But they obviously made it into some very, very funny movies.
The end credits alone.
But the series
hilarious.
is definitely worth watching.
Yeah.
It is very, very funny.
One that's kind of under the radar, but Top Secret, which is also by these guys.
Top Secret is
Top
very
Secret's
funny. And
very
you
funny.
hadn't seen it
I
till
hadn't,
recently,
but
right?
then I
Like,
watched it.
saw Top Secret in the theater.
What's the toy that the husband has?
The Anal Intruder.
The Anal Intruder. And of course, like I said, Hot Shots. I would also say, as far as other spoof movies go, I'm very partial to Not Another Teen Movie,
I don't think I've seen that.
which has Chris Evans way before he was Captain America, way before he was even the Human Torch in the old Fantastic Four.
So
movies.
is this a send up of like John Hughes type
Yes.
movies?
And it is hilarious. And they
Okay.
get the vice principal from Breakfast Club to do
really?
the movie.
Oh,
Yes.
he's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Going to our favorites now. Favorite character for me, Dr. Rumack, all the way. Leslie Nielsen, I love him so much.
He's very good. He probably is the best. I'm going to go with Elaine just because I really, really like her.
She's really good.
She's
oh,
really
she
good.
was on the audiobook. She sounds like the nicest freaking person you will ever
seems
meet.
like such
Yes.
a nice, such a sweet person. And so I'll pick her, but it's almost hard to pick because everyone who says anything in this movie
Yeah.
is outstanding. There's nobody who you think, I mean, Johnny is hilarious.
Johnny is hilarious.
Right? But all Rex Kramer, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, they're all really, really good.
We won't hold it against Elaine that she did wager all of her nest egg in Lost in America at the casino. You have
Yes.
seen that, right?
Yeah, I've seen
Okay.
Lost in America. It's very good. She has a very distinctive way of speaking,
She
doesn't
does.
she?
Yeah.
Yeah,
She was
it's
only
like nobody else.
I think she was like 26 when she
Wow.
did this. She's pretty young. My favorite line, which I have the audio clip of it, but I'm going to say it here. Listen, kid, I've been hearing that crap ever since I was at UCLA. I'm out there busting my buns every night. Tell your old man to drag Walton and Lanier up and down the court for 48 minutes.
That's probably
I
my
love it.
favorite too.
I love
It's
it.
So funny.
Scene, shot. I mean,
I don't even know how
I don't know
pick
how to
a
choose
scene.
this.
No.
I love the white zone, red zone stuff. That is freaking hilarious.
Yeah. I love
But no,
walking through the airport and punching people in the face.
yeah, I'm actually going to change it right here and now.
Oh my God.
Based on us doing this podcast. It's the scene where the golden retriever mauls the guy coming to get Rex Kramer because it's too relevant. And every time you come over now, that's all I'm going to think of.
Yeah.
So that's it. Final thoughts and rating. I'll go first this time.
Okay.
You know, I've watched this probably 4 or 5 times in the last 4 or 5 years. And I think I was a solid 4 for a lot of that. And doing this, going deep dive, listening to the audiobook, watching it so many times. I mean, it's easily a 5-star movie now. It's hilarious.
Yeah.
I've put my Hot Shots baggage behind me. And obviously, there's no Hot Shots without this, obviously. So
Yeah.
it's amazing. And the little things you don't necessarily notice each time. Like there was one where it was like the guy that took off his arm and leg, and then there's like a rib X-ray up on the screen of just like in his ribs and stuff. Just little things you don't notice until like the 4th or 5th time you watch it. And
Yeah.
You're actually looking for them.
The amount of work they put into every scene. There's no throwaway scene in this entire movie.
Yeah.
Every single scene is packed with things in it.
Yeah.
It's easily a 5-star movie for me. Like I said, in my life, it's just always existed. And all the lines in it have always existed. It's amazing to me to think of the writing of this movie because every line almost is memorable.
Yeah.
Right? They throw in so many scenes and the acting is so serious. They were the ambition to get all these serious actors and to get them to act serious,
Play
but
it
to
straight
say
the
these
entire
things
time.
that are so. If you just read the lines, it's one thing, but in context, they're so good.
Yeah.
I don't even know. I mean, it's definitely 5 stars. To me, it's just an all-timer.
I mean, there's nothing else to say. It's great.
Yeah.
I hope Countess Tracy has enjoyed all of this conversation on it. But we are going to talk just a little bit more about 0 Hour.
Yeah, okay.
Because we did watch that. We talked about most of the things, you know, the whole casting an athlete. And in the book, they said they cast Kareem Abdul-Jabbar because there
Did
was
they?
a professional athlete in
Didn't that work
0
out?
Hour.
It
Yeah.
really worked out.
There is a line in the book that I am actually going to drop in here because it's so funny. It was about O.J. Simpson, because obviously O.J. Simpson had been doing acting too, and then he went on to do The Naked Gun. So I'm going to play this real quick because I was dying.
O.J. Simpson was wonderfully stiff in both Capricorn 1 and The Towering Inferno.
I directed him in the Naked Gun movies. Although he actually improved with each film, his acting remained a bit like his murdering. He got away with it, but no one really believed him.
Didn't you guys become friends?
Not really. The last time I ever saw him was at the wrap party for Naked Gun 33 1/3. We shook hands, I sold him my knife collection, and never saw him again.
Oh my God. Hilarious.
Who is that saying that?
That's one of the Zucker brothers.
Right.
I forget which one, but it was one of the Zucker brothers.
And who's interviewing him?
It was one of the other, it was either Abraham's or the other
Abraham's,
Zucker
okay.
brother. Yeah. Unbelievably funny. 2 quick things about 0 Hour. We got to mention Sterling Hayden, a.k.a. Jack D. Ripper,
Yeah.
plays Stryker's old captain in 0 Hour. And the line looks like it picked the wrong week to stop smoking. He says
It's
that
in the
line.
movie.
Yes, he says that in 0 Hour.
So you can see why they start one-upping that.
Yeah. The last thing I had for that, the captain on the ground was the first person to actually ask the stewardess her name. The entire movie, they just kept calling her stewardess. And I think they kind of were joking that in Airplane because of them never saying her name in 0 Hour.
That's pretty good. You know, the one thing about it, so it is very similar, but in 0 Hour, one of the passengers is a comedian. And Joey is in Zero Hour. As we mentioned, he goes to
But he's like the main character's kid. Because that's the big difference is that Stryker's
married.
Zero Hour is married.
And his wife's leaving him.
With their son.
Just like this, but it's his wife with the son, and they're on the plane, and he gets a ticket on the plane. So that's similar.
But his ticket's not smoking.
It isn't. But what we could not believe was the comedian has a hand puppet.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about the hand puppet.
And he's entertaining the kid with the hand puppet. And all we could think about Airplane not having that was that how can you top the ridiculousness of that in Airplane? Because it's so ridiculous, even in Zero Hour, that what can you do?
Yeah.
There is an automatic pilot.
There is.
Although
it's just not an inflatable thing.
No.
Anything else on Zero Hour? It's worth watching, honestly. It's not bad, and it's very short.
No. And they have similar
and
lights.
If you're a
I
big
want every
Airplane
light
fan,
you can get poured on that field.
Yeah.
I mean,
much of the dialogue.
I liked the babysitter watching like Elvis impersonator on TV when they call to find the Rex Kramer equivalent, whoever that was, the babysitter's watching TV, and the guy is out to dinner with his uniform on. Maybe as you would have been, right? Because if you're a pilot, like that's a formal dress, right? So you take it out instead of wearing a suit.
I have one more thing before we wrap up.
Okay.
I actually have a birthday letter from loyal listener Amy for Countess Tracy.
All right.
Another year older? Please. We're just step by step becoming vintage. You've still got the right stuff. You're still hanging tough. And let's be honest, we're all still waiting for Jordan, Joey, Donnie, Danny, or Jonathan to realize we're their soulmates. Maybe not Jonathan. You and I would be Jonathan's soulmates.
I guess.
May your birthday be filled with cake, zero responsibilities, and enough wine to make you think New Kids on the Block is performing in your living room. Remember, age is just a number, especially when you're still screaming like a teenager every time, please don't go girl, or you got it, the right stuff comes on. Hope your day is unforgettable, your wrinkles stay hidden, and your inner 14-year-old blockhead never grows up. Happy birthday. Now let's celebrate step by step because our knees won't let us do it any faster. Amy. Thank you, Amy.
That's awesome. Happy birthday, Tracy.
Happy birthday, Tracy. I hope that this is the greatest birthday gift I've ever gotten you. I hope that this gives me some brownie points now so I can buy some really good companion beverages. Just kidding. You got a couple more gifts. That'll do it. Thank you, Charlie.
Thanks, Mike.
We hope you enjoyed this episode of Spirited Movie Companions. If you'd like to send us a message, you can do so at spiritedmoviecompanions@gmail.com. Until next time, make yourself some popcorn, grab a comfy seat, and find yourself a spirited companion. Goodbye.
Looks like I picked the wrong week to quit smoking.